Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Ice Talks, where we implement change every day. Hey, how you doing? Harold S. Reed Jr. here, also known as HRJR, your motivational coach. If you don't know what motivation means, motive plus action equals results, and results equals success. This is episode 28 of the Ice Talks. So, God, I'm sure if you've listened to any episodes prior to this one, you ought to know what motivation means. But I digress. Let me move forward. Today I want to talk to you about power. In the last podcast, episode 27, I talked about some things, and I said that I would talk about in the next episode or an upcoming episode about power. Power is very important, and it takes on many forms. What I'm going to share with you today is how can I put this? A method in which you can use your power to leverage your activities toward the improvement of your circumstances. Yeah, I like that. All right. First, let me share with you the first law of thermodynamics, which is also known as the law of conservation of energy. Energy is also another word that is synonymous with power. But regarding the first law of thermodynamics, also known as the law of conservation of energy, this law states that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. Energy can only be transferred or changed from one form to another. What I'm going to ask you to do for the remainder of this podcast is keep that definition in mind, yet exchange the word energy for the word power. I'm going to say power can neither be created or destroyed. It can only be transferred from one form to another. It can only be transferred or changed from one form to another. Okay, so what do I mean by that? Because one may say, well, I'm not powerful today, but if I do some things and find myself in a position where I have money, I have status, I have leverage, I have success, then I've become powerful. So I've created power. No, you haven't created power. Power exists in you. You are a walking testament of power. The fact that you are alive, the fact that you are breathing, the fact that you had the wherewithal to wake up this morning shows that you have some measure of power. Now, what you do with that power is up to you. See? And what you do with that power, you can't, listen, the only way you can destroy your power is to take your life, right? And even then, if you believe in the spiritual realm, if you believe in, metaphysics or what have you, then even then, your power is not destroyed because your spirit, your soul, your essence. If you believe in these other areas of belief, your soul, your energy, your essence, it just transforms. As a matter of fact, I'll go so far as to say that even when we die, our power continues to exist because we leave people behind. Now, the only way your power can be destroyed in that context or in that aspect would be if you totally had no one who loved you in your life. And sad to say, there are people like that who, they found themselves in circumstances where they've died alone and there was no one to think about them, no one to care about them, no one to love them, no one to miss them. But if you're listening to this podcast, I'm more than certain you're not one of those people. So I will say to you that your power can neither be created nor destroyed because your power came from your power, your personal power, your individual power came from the creation of your life, came from the conception of your life by your parents. And thus, that's a transference of energy from them together to combine to make the being that is you. And that was a transference of energy from your grandparents, great-grandparents, so on and so forth. All right. So all this energy had to start somewhere. Nobody just came out of the blue, with the exception of, depending on what your religious or spiritual beliefs are, when, God said, let there be light. But even then, that was some kind of energy, whether you believe it from the scientific realm or whether you believe it from the spiritual realm, it's some form of energy. And we're going to transform the word energy into the word power. It can neither be created or destroyed. It can merely be transferred. So even when you die, if you've touched the lives of other people and they think about you and they remember you and they love you and they tell stories about you and they pass on things that they've learned from you on to their children or your own children if you leave children behind, and they talk about you at parties and what have you, your energy continues to live on. That being said, I want to talk to you about how you can use your power. And power, for me, is an acronym. That acronym stands for plan, organize, wonder, engage, and repeat. Let's go through that step by step. P, plan. Let's say that there's something you want to achieve, accomplish, become, what have you. You have a goal, all right? It's not enough to just have a goal. It's not enough to say, I want to have, do, or become this particular thing. You have to have a plan. You have to figure out a way, or no pun intended, those of you who are very close to me know my first book was Find a Way to Make a Way. So yes, you have to find a way to make a way. That is your plan. What do you have to do? What is required of you? How long is it going to take you to fulfill this objective, to achieve this objective? What is it going to be required of you to complete the tasks necessary to fulfill your objective? That is where your plan comes into play. And there's a whole laundry list of questions you may have to ask yourself in order to map out your plan. But you must first have a plan. All right. You must first put something on paper. I always say a goal that you don't write down or a dream that you don't write down has the same value as a fart in the wind and usually smells just as bad. So, and Tony Robbins teaches us that we should never walk away from the sight of an idea without taking at least one step towards fulfilling that idea or goal. So the first word in the POWER acronym is plan. Plan your outcome. What's it going to be? The next, O. O stands for organize. Specifically, organize your resources. What resources do you have? What resources will you need? How can you go about acquiring those resources? Are those resources acquirable? If they are, how are you going to get them? If they're not, how are you going to get them? Can you do what you need to get done without them? So organize your resources. And resources aren't just things. Resources are nouns. A person, place, a thing. You might have to do something at a certain place at a certain time with a certain person. You might have to do a certain thing. All right. So organize your resources. What do you need in order to achieve your goal? What do you need in order to manifest and exercise your overall power and energy and achieve your goals and improve your circumstances? Plan, organize. Next, and this is the fun part, all right? This is the fun part. W, wonder. Wonder. Dream. Have fun. What is it going to be like once you achieve your objective? Imagine, plan, dream, wonder. If your goal is to get a new car, what's it going to be like sitting in that car? What's it going to be like driving down the highway? If it's a motorcycle, what is it going to be like having the wind go through your hair if you happen to be in a state where you don't have to wear a helmet? Or what's it going to be just to have the wind whipping against your body and your face? If it's to get a house, what's the house going to smell like? Are you going to have marble floors? Are you going to have hardwood floors? Are you going to wall-to-wall carpet? What color is the paint on your walls going to be? Are you going to have a separate room where you could just veg out, listen to music, meditate, work out, what have you? Smoke room if you're into that kind of thing. And I mean legally, of course. And, we go on from there. All right. But wonder what your life is going to be like after you've achieved your goal, right? Because that's going to help you. That vision that you have, wondering what it's going to be like, wondering what it's going to feel like, is going to help you when you come across the next step. Because the next step is the hardest step. E. E stands for engage. In other words, you have to take action. One of my favorite TV shows of all time is Star Trek: The Next Generation. All right. And the one of the main characters of the show, the captain of the Enterprise, man by the name of Jean-Luc Picard, whenever he gave the order for the ship to move on a particular course, he would point his finger straight ahead and he would say, engage. And then the Enterprise will take off in the light speed or warp drive or whatever they call warp speed. All right. But you have to engage. You have to take action. See, so all the planning in the world doesn't mean crap. All the organizing in the world doesn't mean crap. And surely none of the wondering that you do, none of the imagining, the dreaming, the goal setting, none of these things matter unless you take action. Remember, I just said Tony Robbins teaches us that we should never leave the sight of an idea or a goal without first taking some action, without first taking some kind of step that will lead towards its fruition. Even if you have an idea pop in your head and for that split second you see the light, you feel as though you've been struck by lightning with this idea, right? If you just smile and say, yeah, that'd be cool, and walk away, I guarantee you that idea will not likely come to fruition. However, if you take so much as a few seconds, pull out a pen and piece of paper and write down what that idea is and promise yourself that you'll go back and revisit it and flesh it out even more, you've taken at least some action towards fulfilling that goal. You've begun to engage yourself towards achieving and fulfilling that goal. This leads us to the final piece of this particular pie. R, repeat. Well, and this I know is going to sound very familiar to the ladies who are listening to this. When you wash and condition your hair, what are the instructions that are on the conditioner bottle? Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. See, the way life works is because you're already doing it. You go through your life day to day doing what you do. Work, play, sleep, eat, make love, make babies, fight, argue, what have you. But you know what? No matter what, if you are a clean person, you have to rinse off. You have to wash off the dirt of the day so that you can go through it again tomorrow. Repeat. See, just because you have a plan and just because you've organized your resources and you've wondered about what it's going to be like to fulfill that objective, to achieve that objective, and you've begun to take action, you can't just stop. Once you've begun to take action, you got to keep on moving. You got to keep on trucking. You got to keep on going towards that goal. There's a saying that goes, if you're going through hell, keep on going. Nobody wants to stay in hell. Nobody wants to be in hell. At least nobody in their right mind wants to stay or be in hell. So you may have to go back and revisit your plan. You may have to go back and reorganize your resources. You should always be wondering what it feels like to fulfill your goal, to achieve your objective, because that's what's going to keep you going. That's your motivation right there. And then, of course, you want to continue engaging. You want to stay on a main course of engagement towards achieving your goal until such time as you achieve your goal. So you are going to repeat these things: power, plan, organize, wonder, engage, repeat. I'm going to share with you something else that I learned from Tony Robbins. He's one of the few mentors that I look up to that I haven't seen in person yet, but I've read plenty of books, listened to plenty of tapes, watched plenty of videos. So he is one of my mentors. He is one of my teachers, even though he doesn't know it. All right. But one of the things I learned early on in my studies of things that are Tony Robbins is something he calls the ultimate success formula. And the ultimate success formula is similar to what I'm talking about in this POWER acronym. Okay. First part of the ultimate success formula is the same thing in the POWER acronym. You have to plan your outcome. plan your outcome. As a matter of fact, the ultimate success formula is kind of like a take on this acronym of POWER. POWER is a take on this ultimate success formula. So you have to plan your outcome, right? Second, you have to take action, okay? Third, you have to evaluate your progress. Are the things that you're doing taking you closer towards your goal or pulling you away from your goal, right? And then lastly, you have to be flexible enough to make the changes necessary in order to go on to your goal. So this is all a part of planning, organizing, wondering, engaging, and repeating. All right. I wanted to give you something powerful today. And these powerful podcasts are going to keep coming, but I really wanted you to have something special today. The POWER acronym is something that I just came up with through combining all of my studies and my experiences, and it helped me gather my focus and put some things together in my life to achieve some goals in my life. And I assure you that if you put these same principles together in your life and you apply them in the things that you apply them to the things that you want to do, to the things that you want to achieve, that you want to accomplish, I assure you, you know what? I guarantee you, if you put in the work, you will reap the rewards. You will see the benefits. You will get the results that you deserve. Now, last thing I just said, I want you to pay very close attention to the very last thing I just said. You will get the rewards you deserve. You will get the rewards you deserve based on the level of work that you've put in. So if you've put in the work that's required of you, you should receive the rewards and the results that come with having put in that work. If you do not put in that required amount of work, you do not deserve the rewards that you're seeking, and you will thus not likely get the rewards that you're seeking. And even if you do sneak past fate, you can't sneak past karma, and you really can't sneak past fate. If you think you're sneaking past fate, maybe that's just a test. Maybe you received the shortcut to see how you would handle it. All right. Maybe you put in some work somewhere else and you got to pass. So we're going to let you. So fate and the universe is like, we're going to let you have it a little bit easier this time, but we're going to see what you're going to do with it once we give it to you. Right. And you may have to work hard. It might have been easy to get it, but you damn sure going to likely have to work hard to keep it. Let me tell you something, man. This stepping yourself up to another level. It's work. It's work. It's not easy. I can assure you. It's not easy, but I can also assure you that it's worth it. I can assure you that if you plan your outcome, if you plan your goal, you set down, you map out what it is that you want to do and how you're going to go about doing it and why you want to go about doing it. I talked about that, I think, yesterday, why you want to do these things, why you want to achieve this particular goal. Plan it out. Organize your resources. Wonder what it's going to be like for you to achieve this goal, or when you achieve this goal. Engage, take action towards achieving that goal. And then repeat these steps over and over again until such time as you do achieve these goals, your goals. And then remember what I said about the ultimate success formula. The last part of the ultimate success formula, you have to be flexible enough in order to make the changes necessary to get you closer to your goal. You do these things and I assure you, I guarantee you, you will come out on top. I'm going to wrap it up right there because if I get too excited, I'm going to go off into a whole different thing, which could probably just be another podcast for another day. So I'm going to try to contain my excitement, contain my energy, contain my joy for a little bit so I can leave you with just this much and walk away and be able to give you something more tomorrow. Maybe later on today. Who knows? But I'm going to walk away with that. What I am going to leave you with is this. I'm still looking to garner more followers on the Spreaker app. So whatever platform you're listening to this on, if you're listening to this on iTunes, cool. If you're listening to it on Anchor, Overcast, Chatbox, or whatever, any of these different platforms that you'll find this on is great. But the main goal right now is I want to get this podcast. I want to get the Ice Talks on iHeartRadio. And I have a means in which to do that. I have a portal through which to submit this podcast. But in order to do that, the only thing I need to do right now is amass 100 followers on this one particular platform. And actually, where we are right now, I believe the number I'm going to need is 77. All right. So go to Spreaker.com. That's S as in Sam, P-R-E-A-K-E-R.com. If there's a search box there, which I'm sure there is, look up The Ice Talks. Okay. When you find that particular podcast, all you got to do is click follow. That's it. All right. And as I amass these episodes and I amass these followers and I acquire more followers, it's going to get us closer to the goal of getting on iHeartRadio, and we're gonna blast these podcasts out to a worldwide audience. That's all I want to do is help as many people as I can. That's going to be my this is my transference of power. This is how I transfer my power. This is how I transfer my energy, so that when the time comes that I die, and I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with this. As a matter of fact, I put this on my book. My first book, Find a Way to Make a Way. So I'm going to share this with you just the way I wrote it. If you are uncertain about what your life's purpose should be, imagine what you want people to say about you at your funeral when your body is there, but your essence, your spirit, your energy has likely moved on and you're not there. No one has ever come back and say, I heard what you said about me at my funeral. So I'm going to assume, or at least presume, we won't be there when that time comes. But people going to be there. There's that transference of energy. People going to be talking about us. What do you want people to say about you? See? So imagine what you want people to say about you at your funeral. And of course, you want it all to be good things. Imagine what you want people to say about you at your funeral. And then, from that point that you've imagined what you wanted people to say, until such time comes that your funeral is here, live up to the words you want people to say about you once you're gone. That is how you transfer your power. That is how you transfer your energy, hopefully for the better. God bless. Take care. Thank you for listening to another episode of The Ice Talks, where we implement change every day.